everybody. We are jumping back on our stream because we've got a tornado warning in Panola County. It is close to the Louisiana border. It is moving towards the east, so the threat should be moving across into Louisiana pretty soon. So that's why we're jumping on stream here. It's just south of DeBary and of course to the east of Carthage. So if you're in Carthage, you're not in this tornado warning. If you're in DeBary, you're also not in this tornado warning. But you can see that we've got a little bit of a rotation there on our Titan indicators, but that actually has just changed, and it shows maybe some stronger updrafts producing some hail. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to our velocity here, and you can see maybe a little bit of maybe some rotation here in our reds and greens, but all in all, there's really nothing too organized here, and there's really nothing too bright here to be super concerned about. Again, this goes for until 7:30, so we've got maybe just under about 20 or just over about 20 minutes that we're going to stay on here on this stream. And I'm going to zoom out. We're also looking at this cell down here just south of center. So if I take a look at this, and I'm going to turn off our lightning here, we've got a little bit of green, brighter green here around the Shelbyville area, right to the east of center. And this could indicate some stronger winds. And I actually wanted to tell you, if you are in this area, if you've maybe experienced this in center, or if you're in Shelbyville, the National Weather Service has said that they have some strong winds that they've recorded, about 70 miles per hour, that are possible in this area from this cell. So if you are in the center area, this has just passed over you. If you are in Shelbyville, this is also right on top of you. You're probably experiencing some pretty strong and gusty winds, but as you can see, rotation not looking too terribly tight. We don't have too many bright reds and greens in this area at this time. So if I take a wider look, again, I'm looking up here towards this tornado warning. This goes until 7:30. Again, that is in Panola County. So if we take a look at our reflectivity, lots of lightning in that area. If I take a closer look, we can see that Titan indicator showing maybe those stronger updrafts once again. And what we'll do here is I'll click on that and we'll see maybe what it's indicating. That could maybe give us a good indication if we have some hail again. So maximum hail size actually has gone down, looks just to be under about an inch. And that also said that there was probably going to be some hail, about 100% chance of some hail in there, but also the severity of that hail was a little bit lower. So let's see if I can get that back up again. Well, the Titan indicator went away, so that's actually a good thing. But we were seeing lots of lightning in this cell, also would correlate with some hail. So maybe even if it's not that large of hail, we can look on our hail size indicator right here, and you can see that close to DeBary, we were getting maybe just marble-sized hail. So not in that tornado warning, but just outside. So maybe part of the reason why they were looking at the different indicators to warn the storm, they could maybe see that there was some hail in there. Not big hail, probably not going to cause any damage at the time, but marble-sized hail that is just south of DeBary. If we look out and look at the storm towards center, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take off these watches and warnings for just a second so we can look at the hail down here and towards center. So towards Choice and Shelbyville, it looks like marble-sized, maybe up to nickel-sized hail in that area. This is, again, moving towards Louisiana, so not going to be in our area for too terribly much longer. And this cell right here actually doesn't have a tornado warning on it. This cell at the moment just has a severe thunderstorm warning on it, and this goes until 7:30 also. So you can see that hail core kind of moving, but that nickel-sized hail going down. So just a lot of smaller pea or marble-sized hail in this area. But you can definitely see we've got a lot of lightning in this area, which would correlate to having some hail, meaning that we have some stronger updrafts as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan back out here, and we're going to take a wider look. You can see we've got lots going on across East Texas tonight. We've got this strong line of storms that's been moving through East Texas. Deeper East Texas also seeing quite a bit of storms down south also. So if you're in Crockett or Groveton, We've got some severe thunderstorm warnings in those areas. We've got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings just across the board as this line moves through. Now, as it came through the Dallas area, there really weren't that many severe thunderstorm warnings in the Dallas area. As it moved towards central Texas, towards the Waco area, that's where it started getting a little bit more warnings on it. And then ever since then, there have been lots of warnings. This has been very widespread, and you can see we've gotten a lot of rain out of this. That's what all those reds and oranges are. We've also gotten lots of hail, or lots of lightning, I should say. Not as much hail, but we have had some reports of pea to more marble-sized hail as well. So let's look. The National Weather Service is saying still looking like significant winds across Shelby County right now. So if we take a look, let's go up to Shelby County and we'll look at some of those winds. That's where they're seeing maybe this little bit of rotation in this area is what our Titan indicator is saying. So I'll click on that real quick, although I wasn't getting anything earlier, but we'll see what we're seeing right now. So tornado impact, a 1. Out of a 10, that's pretty low. Also saying that there is a chance for some hail, but the maximum hail size was relatively low, or the maximum hail size has gone up, so about 2.4 inches. I haven't gotten any reports of anyone seeing hail like that. This is radar indicated. So this is just giving us a good indication of maybe what's out there. With all the lightning that's in this storm, it could be very well possible. And then we're also seeing, once again, a higher wind impact. So they have definitely said that there were strong gusts of wind in this storm. So if you're in the Shelbyville center area or to the east of that towards the Louisiana border, you've got strong winds headed your way. So they've definitely said that if one thing is known out of the storm is that we're getting very gusty winds out of this. So no tornado warning on this particular storm, but very high winds in that area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom back out, and we will go back up here to our tornado warning that goes until 7:30. They've actually dropped the back half of this. I figured they would do this from the Carthage area. So we've just got a little bitty bit of Panola County in this, and then this tornado warning continues over into Louisiana along the leading edge of this storm. So I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. And we will stream and just talk about the different things that we're seeing in East Texas and look at the line as a whole. But I don't think this tornado warning is much of a concern for our area anymore in East Texas, considering that it has pretty much been dropped out of our area. There still is that tornado warning that goes into Louisiana until 7:30, so that's another 15 minutes. But again, that is not particularly in our area. So if I take a wider look here, we can see we've got a lot just happening across East Texas. Not so much to the north anymore. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to drop these watches of warning so we can just look at the radar. Not so much anymore to our north, that's where we were seeing all the action earlier. That's where we had our severe thunderstorm warnings with tornado possible tags. They were actually north of I-20. Earlier today, we had some smaller hail, we had gusty winds, and we did have a tornado warning that moved over Marshall. But right now, everything seems to have moved down south. So Crockett is on the back edge of this storm, Lufkin right in the middle of it. Earlier on our show CBS19 News at 6:30, we showed a shelf cloud that was moving through Nacogdoches, and then lots of heavy rain and very gusty wind that moved through that area as well. You can see the lightning has moved out of Nacogdoches now, but we've still got some rain that's back towards Palestine and Jacksonville that's probably going to move this way also and follow this line. So center, lots of lightning, maybe some hail as well. In fact, what I'll do here is I'll turn on our hail estimates, and we can see maybe a little bit of hail towards center, actually dropping up to close to maybe nickel to quarter-sized hail. So this is where we were seeing not that tornado warning, but gustier winds. This is where they were seeing lots of stronger updrafts and those 70-mile-per-hour winds possible that were moving through that storm. It looks like that's also going to continue. That tornado or severe thunderstorm watch is going to continue for the next little while as well, for the next 15 minutes. We've seen some smaller hail just along the storm line. You can see those little pockets of gray that have moved through, but overall I would say it looks like most of the storms are definitely moving to our south. So I'll turn on here our reflectivity once again, and we can just see all that's going on this storm system, especially in deeper East Texas, but to our south, deeper East Texas, out of our region really. If we're looking down towards Groveton, just getting through this storm. The storms are now heading towards West Livington, out of Lufkin pretty soon. Once again, out of Nacogdoches and towards Hemphill as well. So what we'll do here is, I think that since this tornado warning has been dropped out of the East Texas area mostly, we will come off of our stream for just a little bit, but then we can jump back on streaming here in the next maybe hour or so. That way we can have any other updates. The National Weather Service hasn't said anything else other about these tornado warnings, or that tornado warning, or the severe thunderstorm warnings in the area. So I'll widen this out one more time and kind of reset here so we can take a look at what we've got going on. And then we can talk about, we can come back to streaming later. But I think that at this moment, since that tornado warning has been dropped and since that line of storm has been starting to move across the border into Louisiana, we should be good here. We've still got lots of rain and lightning, so remember, stay safe, stay indoors. If you're planning to drive anywhere, make sure that you're checking road conditions and that you're being safe. There's a lot of water out there on the roads tonight. But for now, I think we're good to jump off streaming, and then we can check back in. And then, of course, we'll be back on at 10 and we'll bring you the latest updates. I'll have the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about the threats tomorrow again, but we do have that CBS19 Eye on Weather Day through tonight and into tomorrow. We do have another chance for severe weather tomorrow morning. But for now, I think we'll be done with this stream. That tornado warning was that main concern that we had, so I think we are all good here. So I will let us go.